night changes to this laundromat. Not 24 hours anymore. There's a sign that says last wash 10:30. Doesn't matter today. It's like 6 something right now. Yeah, it's a little after 6:30 right now. No more coins. Let me pull out this. No more coins. We're using these. You touch them to the thing, and there's a little ledge right here. You place it on, and then it says what the starting balance was, and then takes the money off, and you know, now it says busy because it's going. So can't lose the card, but it is easier not needing to keep quarters with me at all times. Occasionally still need quarters for parking. Some places, not really in Vegas, like if I'm buying cigars in downtown Omaha. Also, if you want to play pool, you're probably going to need quarters at some point. I haven't played in a while. So hectic evening here. Very quickly after this, meeting Herbs and Rye and Shant. His name is Shant. I don't know why Herbs and Rye said Sean in Texas State, Brazil. He claims he didn't, but I heard Sean. S-H-A-N-T. His name is Shant. We're going to El Dorado. It's the Mexican restaurant attached to the strip club just west of the strip. And then pretty quickly after that, I don't think I have time to go back to my room. After that, I'll drive to Cosmo again. That's where I park for going to PH. Drive to Cosmo, park, and work at Planet Hollywood. So all those things, very dark in El Dorado. Maybe get you a picture or a little video of some of the food, and that's going to be the start for tonight. I am planning on having Herbs and Rye read some questions for a question answer session. Guest lecturer, if you will, Herbs and Rye. He's done it before. I have the pictures of the questions saved on my phone. We'll see if we have the time to do it, and then I'll answer them later. The evening wasn't that crazy. Did go straight from the laundromat to El Dorado, but had a little time to come back here to Harrah's. Not really do much, just go up to my room for a minute and come back down. While I was at El Dorado, got the famous Herbs and Rye to read the questions for the questions and answers. Reader, Herbs and Rye, answerer, Rice. Let's go to the questions.
Why do you use a rake? Injury? Question mark.
The rake is largely a preventive measure. I don't want back issues at any point. I don't want my right shoulder to have problems. My left shoulder, from a lot of years of weightlifting and golf, isn't 100%. Normally, I don't do things that bother it, but all the reaching for cards and chips, if I dealt a full shift without the rake, and I dealt lefty, it would definitely hurt. So that's why I've been dealing righty well over 95% of the time this summer, and that's why I made the stick.
Quick question, and due to the nature of your job, I understand if you can't answer. I was watching a No Limit Hold'em tourney on Poker Go, and the players were tanking for an excruciating amount of time on every single decision, even in smaller pots. As a dealer, does this annoy you?
So in tournaments, for myself, I don't care. I get paid the same whether the pace of play means I deal 7 hands in a down or 25 hands in a down. I actually like, as a dealer, for a selfish reason, when there's so much fake tanking going on, because I don't need to do anything. Like the hands on the flop and 3 people are going to tank consecutively, I sit there. I don't need to move. I don't need to think. It's not pot limit. I don't need to calculate pot. When people are fake tanking in No Limit Hold'em tournaments, I get like a break, like every street. I do dislike it for the sake of everyone in the tournament, or at least on that table, who isn't fake tanking and actually wants to see hands, not act like they have massive decisions when they don't. But nothing I can do about that. Yeah, this doesn't happen much at Orleans. You know, there's so many mixed game tournaments, you know, in limit betting, it doesn't happen. It's very rare someone tanks. I mean, every big bet is important, but it's rare someone thinks for a long time. Even in the no limit events, the bankroll builders, the Sunday specials, the mega stacks, the monster stacks, the seniors event, the ladies event, it just doesn't happen. You'll see it. I remember last year it happened quite a bit in the main event, because I guess that drew the attention of people who love to tank every decision. You'll see the odd person in any tournament, but it seemed like there were a lot of people in the main event last year who were doing that.
If it is possible or practical for a Vegas poker dealer to make more than 100K gross year after year.
All right, three-part question. First one, 100,000 as a dealer, one job. Be real tough in Vegas with one job. I don't think you could do it. Asterisk, one job that has a lot of hours in it, places where you don't get sent home early. And in addition to that, when there's a series going on, work too. So if you had a job that's like consistently like 35 hours a week, and then when the summer came around, you took a second job at a summer series, and in the winter, you took a second job with a winter series, and then maybe you have the one-off thing, like when the circuit comes to town. In March or last year, I think there was a 10-day event at Resorts World, the North American Poker Tour. So if you always took advantage of that second job covering like 2.5 to 4 months a year, then it's possible. I would say it's not happening in Vegas with just one position.
How does a shift look like for a dealer? Clock in, work, amount, he's break for an amount, of mins, work, and so on?
Ideally, you work, you have 5 dealers for every 4 tables going. So you deal 4 downs, a half hour each, so you deal for 2 hours, and then you have a 30-minute break, and it goes like that. But in smaller rooms, it's not always like that. You get real busy. Sometimes there's just a 10-table string. You're gonna deal 10 tables. You're gonna deal for 5 hours in a row before a break, or you might lock into the last table of the night, or maybe you get down to 2 tables, and they only wanna keep 2 dealers on. So two dealers lock in, and every half hour, the floor deals 1 hand to allow time for the dealers to switch. So, but like ideally, being very general, I think a poker room wants to have enough dealers on such that there are 5 dealers for every 4 tables going. You deal for 2 hours, then you have a break for 30 minutes.
In your opinion, if you had to pay to stay in Vegas for a long period of time, is it best to stay Airbnb, cheap hotel, or blank? If you had comps, if you had no comps.
For a long stay, I would say Airbnb. Airbnb is falling off a little lately, but there's no limit to the duration of your stay. Casinos, casino hotels, even non-casino hotels, motels, they can have guests, they can't have tenants. And there's a certain number of days beyond which the person staying in the room would be considered a tenant, not a guest. They can't have that. So you have limits. I think in Vegas or Nevada, I guess it's a state thing. I don't know why it would be a city thing. It's 14 days. So you could be staying at Bally's 14 days and then just change rooms. So the change rooms like supersedes the fact that it's still 28 straight days in the same building. So you could do that, but still a little bit of a hassle, and the rates might be nuts. They're gonna be holidays, they're gonna be weekends. So for a long-term thing, I would just get one stay at an Airbnb for the total duration of your time in town.
Will you slowly buy some dividend stocks as the pay starts to roll in, or wait until the end of the series?
All right, kind of a 2-part question here, even though it might not seem like it. For one, I'll probably wait till the series, the Orleans series is over to put anything into my portfolio. It's not crucial that it goes in now, but it might not be more dividend stocks. For like years, I've been between the dividend plan and just buying a mutual fund that tracks the S&P 500, and I might keep the dividend plan I have, those positions that I have, and start a position with Vanguard, Schwab, or Fidelity, or all 3, or just pick one, but start an S&P position. And eventually, so like I don't need to really think about it too hard in the interim, and then eventually when the amounts are similar or on the way to that, decide and pick one, or keep both. But that's way safer. And if that plan doesn't work, I have much bigger problems, like learning how to use weapons and learning how to hunt and like learning how to like sleep in the forest. So yeah, I still do think if you pick the right dividends, it would be, you know, you would meet your goals faster. That's just a much more difficult task than just piling money into a reputable firm's mutual fund that tracks the S&P 500. shift over. It's like almost 9 o'clock. Just stopped in here at Bally's, say what's up to someone. Shout out to the guy on table 7, seat 7, who said he watches the videos all the time. Also shout out to Javier, who played overnight in PH. Shout out to Ross, who was at that table. Shout out to Michael in the I gotta make this crosswalk, in the chicken shirt. He was playing the PLO double board bomb pot video. Oh, don't have a lot of time. And someone else, there was definitely a fourth. Oh man, it'll come to me eventually. Locked into the last table, still going. You go over there right now. I mean, you're gonna see the video 2-3 days after I'm filming, but the table's still going on. Yeah, I don't know. Does that guy watch the videos? He said something to me. I don't know. Let's pick this up again in the flamingo habitat. Rob from Denver, that was the other shout out. So good to go on all the shout outs. I'm thinking tomorrow I'm gonna tell you the pay from today, because it wasn't 2 shifts, it wasn't a massive amount of hours. I was on the clock enough to get some daily overtime. But 1 shift, locking in, 1 cash down, dealing a lot, 1 tournament down, dealt a lot of cash downs, and the wage. Also got a great thumbnail that is going to attract the attention of people who are not subscribed, also people who are subscribed, but the people who are subscribed largely watch the video. So got a nice thumbnail ready for tomorrow. Don't have anything else unique planned for tomorrow. Today you had the Q&A, questions and answers, so tomorrow you'll probably have that pay, and I think that's gonna put a wrap on things. Tomorrow, same thing, 1 shift, PH, I lock in. Hope you didn't get used to all this flamingo action, because I change rooms in like 3 hours. It's gonna be Excalibur to PH. A lot of filming on the bridge between Cosmo and PH for the next 10 to 12 days. And remember, rice is a spoon food.